Reparations for ADOS is a complex and important topic that is gaining more attention in recent times. But what exactly are reparations and how can they positively impact the American economy? In this video, we will explore the various forms of reparations and how they can contribute to a more equitable and prosperous economy. This is part 3 of a 3-part series on reparations. I'll place links to parts 1 and 2 in the description. We will also be discussing how the Biden administration has been backtracking on reparations, a campaign promise he made, like so many others. One form of reparations, probably the most obvious one, is monetary compensation, providing direct financial support to ADOS individuals and families. This can provide a significant boost to the wealth and economic mobility of Black Americans. A report by Citigroup estimates that closing the racial gap could boost the U.S. economy by $5 trillion over the next 5 years. Reparations would provide a tangible means for closing this gap by addressing historical wealth disparities that have been caused by centuries of racial discrimination and oppression. But this is just the start. Redlining, which we briefly touched on in previous episodes, refers to the practice of denying financial services such as loans or insurance to certain neighborhoods or communities, often based on race or ethnicity. Ending the redlining process would help to promote economic equity and increase access to financial resources for ADOS communities. This would enable more Black Americans to invest in their communities, purchase homes, and start businesses, which would contribute to economic growth. Like reparations, redlining is not a thing of the past.
We now have a report that proves that big banks are, in fact, denying access to credit.
Investing in education is also a crucial form of reparations, as it provides Black Americans with access to quality education, which is crucial for building human capital and increasing economic mobility. By investing in education, Black Americans would be better equipped to compete in the job market and contribute to economic growth. Additionally, education reform could help to address historical disparities in education, providing a more equitable educational landscape for Black Americans. Lastly, providing free mental health services for Black Americans would help to address the mental health impacts of historical trauma and systemic racism. By addressing mental health needs, Black Americans would be better equipped to engage in the workforce, start businesses, and contribute to economic growth. Additionally, addressing mental health needs can help to reduce healthcare costs and increase productivity, which can contribute to overall economic growth. By implementing these various forms of reparations, we can create a more equitable and prosperous economy for all Americans. I really hope these videos have helped shed some light on the importance of reparations for Black Americans and how it can positively impact the American economy. But until we can all get on the same page, we'll dwell in this perpetual cycle of always begging for scraps. Let's take a listen to this YouTube video that I found. The link will be in the description. Let's
During last week's press briefing, Karine Jean-Pierre was asked what the Biden administration's current stance was on the Reparations Study Bill H.R. 40, and this is what she had to say.
Go ahead, Alex.
Karine, San Francisco just held a hearing on reparations for decades of institutional racism, and other cities and states are considering, impaneling similar commissions. DC is one of them. Where does this administration stand on reparations for slavery and segregation and similar historic wrongs, specifically pertaining to Black Americans?
So look, we understand that there's a legislation on the Hill currently on the study of reparations, and we think Congress is the appropriate venue for consideration on such action, and so we're going to leave it there for Congress to decide to let them go through their process that they're taking at this moment.
Now let me ask you all something. Do you think that Karine Jean-Pierre is unaware of the fact that the Republicans currently control the House of Representatives? So when she's telling you that we're going to leave it up to Congress to handle this matter, that's her way of telling you to kick rocks, shut up, and stop asking us about reparations. That's the Biden administration's stance on it. She knows good and well that the House is controlled by Republicans, and she's also more than well aware of the fact that from the moment of H.R. 40's inception, which was by John Conyers in 1989, it has never been brought up for a floor vote, not one time. I have it on the screen right here in front of you if you're watching the video, that not one time from the 101st Congress in 1989 to the 117th Congress, it has never been brought up for a floor vote. It has died in the committee every single time, except for the last 117th Congress, in which you see that it was referred to committee of jurisdiction. Though it was referred to the committee for jurisdiction, it was never brought up for a floor vote. That 117th Congress was when the Democrats controlled the House, and the Democrats didn't find it necessary to pass H.R. 40 concerning studying reparations. But what they did find very important to do, that they thought was more important than reparations, was pass a hair discrimination bill. They literally passed a bill called the Crown Act, which would ban race-based hair discrimination. That was more important to them than passing H.R. 40.
So, where do we go from here? Step one would be to work on yourself. Whether that means get rid of toxicity in your life, or being more charitable, or even going to therapy, because we're not all a monolith, okay? What works for me isn't going to work for everybody else. So align yourself with things that you are passionate about. Then you can transition into getting to know like-minded people that you bond with and you connect with on a certain level. You start to form groups and organizations with these like-minded people that you have surrounded yourself with. So you've got like-minded people who are aligned with your personal goals for your community. Then you can start organizing. Then you can start planning. You start writing bills and contacting all of the officials that you're supposed to contact. And you do all of the things that you need to do. And when that inevitably does not work, then you have an organization already there that may or may not have some backup plans. Just be able to keep in mind that only your community knows what it needs. Make sure you keep in mind that during these organizations, while you're organizing, that you're not being a nuisance for the fuck of it, okay? That's what we don't need. That does not help our cause at all. It does not help when we look like a joke. Even when writing to government officials, make sure you're able to, make sure that your organization is able to collect enough data in your area to create a realistic, attainable reparations package. You look at California, they're doing it because there were people that were on the ground and was like, hey, we finna do this. And there wasn't a whole lot of pushback because, California is pretty blue, but I mean, still, I think that the rest of the country is gonna have to do it on their own. So, and we don't even know how this is gonna turn out in California. I'm optimistic, but I'll link some stuff in the description. So about California, if you guys wanted to read up on it or check some stuff out, I'll put that in the description because that's like a whole other video. What else do I want to say? Oh, watch out for agitators as well in your organizations. And those would be people that would want to disrupt, that would want to organize certain protests that would become more of a nuisance than it would be for awareness of certain things. Awareness, yes. A nuisance, no. I think that's how we end up getting people like this girl. This girl. What's her name? Just Pearly Things? I'm not going to talk on that because that ain't got nothing to do with me. That girl ain't got nothing to do with me. That whole situation ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not in that community. I don't know nobody personally in that community. It ain't got nothing to do with me, so I ain't gonna speak on it. But if you don't know, put in Just Pearly Things and go down that rabbit hole. But that's how you end up getting people like her. I said in a previous episode, and I know I kind of like really toned this one down a little bit because I really don't think a lot of people are getting it. I don't think a lot of folks are getting what I'm trying to put down, but I don't know. We'll see. With the Just Pearly situation, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that so many people are shocked by this. So why would she say these types of things? Because you guys kept giving her fucking room to be in this space. Sarah, over in the UK, I believe. He's tried schooling her several times, and it just right over her head. But it's just kind of like, at some point, we have to stop feeding into that. We have to stop. Not me, I'm just saying we collectively, but like, I'm not feeding into this shit. But we've got to be able to gatekeep. Learn to fucking gatekeep. Because if you don't gatekeep, you get people like Rachel Dolezal and Just Pearly Things. So, that's it from me, you guys. Do you want to say anything, Priscilla? Say bye. Bye. Women. Meow. Meow. Really? You want to say something? I don't want to pet you. I want you to talk. You literally never shut the fuck up. In the middle of the night, you are screaming, yelling, and hollering, and you're really going to act like you just don't say anything now? You're going to pretend to be a mute? That's not PC, bro. You're not being a PC cat. Say, meow. Meow. Say it. Meow. Meow. You don't want to be on camera? You do? I'm going to show you, bro. Where's Miss? What's up? Are you going to be photogenic? The camera's over there, bro. You're going to say hi? You're not going to say hello to your loving fans? Bro, I'm going to put you down. Okay. No, but I don't want to pick you up. I don't want to pick you up. You can't jump up here.